Steel gates clang shut across vast Gothic fortresses as sirens echo through smog-choked hive cities. Within armored precinct walls, arbitrators don their carapace armor emblazoned with symbols of Imperial justice. The Adeptus Arbites serves as humanity's enforcers, a galaxy-spanning organization ensuring Imperial law prevails across 1 million worlds. Precinct fortresses dominate urban landscapes, their Baroque architecture bristling with weapon emplacements and void shield generators. These structures function as self-contained military bases, courthouses, detention facilities, and execution grounds. From their armored halls, judges dispatch justice while cybermastiff handlers prepare their charges for hunt-and-kill operations through polluted underhive depths. Unlike planetary defense forces or local constabularies, the Arbites answer solely to Terra's authority. Their jurisdiction transcends planetary boundaries and local governance, allowing them to strike without warning against any threat to Imperial rule. This independence grants them immunity from political maneuvering, ensuring their focus remains on maintaining order through unwavering application of Imperial law. The organization's foundations stretch back to the Great Crusade, when the Emperor recognized the need for a force dedicated to maintaining unity across newly compliant worlds. Ancient texts describe the first arbitrators as warrior judges, carrying both execution warrants and legal tomes into battle. These early enforcers established the precedents their successors would follow for millennia: absolute dedication to law, swift justice, and unshakable loyalty to Terra. Training transforms recruits into living weapons of Imperial justice. The Schola Progenium forges young minds through endless drills, weapons training, and memorization of legal codes. Failure rates remain astronomical, but those who succeed emerge as perfect instruments of enforcement, individuals who can quote obscure regulations while executing combat protocols with lethal efficiency. Combat doctrine emphasizes overwhelming force applied with surgical precision. Arbitrator squads deploy from armored rhino transports, equipped with shotguns, bolters, and power mauls. Their carapace armor incorporates advanced autosenses and targeting systems, while their weapons range from crowd control devices to military-grade explosives. This combination of equipment allows small teams to engage threats, ranging from underhive gangs to full-scale planetary rebellions. Investigation units delve deep into criminal enterprises, using both ancient and cutting-edge techniques. Cyber-forensics teams sift through cogitator records, while surveillance specialists monitor population centers through vast networks of picked captors. Informant handlers cultivate networks of contacts throughout planetary societies, gathering intelligence that helps predict and prevent uprising before they ignite. The arbitrator's presence instills both fear and respect among Imperial citizens. Their public executions serve as graphic reminders of the consequences of defying Imperial law, while their swift response to criminal activity demonstrates the futility of resistance. This duality of terror and reassurance helps maintain order across countless worlds through carefully calibrated displays of authority. Behind their imposing facades, precinct fortresses house vast archives documenting millennia of legal precedents and criminal cases. Teams of legal scholars and data savants process this information, identifying patterns that might indicate brewing insurrection or widespread corruption. This knowledge aids in preventing crimes before they occur, allowing for preemptive action against potential threats. Specialized divisions handle unique challenges facing the organization. Riot suppression units train specifically for urban warfare, while recovery teams specialize in extracting criminals from fortified positions. Execution squads carry out capital punishment with cold efficiency, and detention specialists oversee vast prison complexes housing the most dangerous opponents of Imperial rule. The Arbites represent humanity's determination to maintain order across the stars through strict adherence to law and swift application of justice. Their methods may appear harsh by civilian standards, but in a galaxy plagued by constant threats, both internal and external, their uncompromising approach remains necessary for humanity's survival. Within the dark halls of the High Lord's chamber, the Grand Provost Marshal maintains iron control over the Arbites' galaxy-spanning operations. This position requires masterful understanding of both military strategy and legal doctrine, balancing enforcement needs across millions of worlds. Through encrypted astropathic communications, orders flow from Terra to the furthest reaches of space, directing the organization's immense resources against threats to Imperial rule. Precinct castles house the fearsome judges, their chambers filled with ancient tomes of law and technological displays monitoring criminal activities. These individuals combine legal expertise with tactical acumen, determining appropriate response levels for various threats. Their word carries the weight of Imperial authority, allowing them to requisition military support or condemn entire populations based on careful interpretation of legal precedent. Detective cadres operate from shadowy observation posts throughout Hive cities, their activities hidden from public view. These specialized units employ both ancient forensic techniques and advanced augury equipment to track criminal patterns. Each detective undergoes extensive training in psychological analysis, allowing them to predict criminal behavior and prevent crimes before execution. The dreaded execution teams emerge from their sanctified armories only for specific missions. Their black-painted armor bears additional religious iconography, marking them as ultimate arbiters of Imperial justice. These units handle only the most significant cases, their deployments serving as clear messages about the consequences of defying Imperial law. Cyber Mastiff handlers work in specially designed facilities deep within precinct fortresses, forming bonds with their lethal charges. These biomechanical hunting beasts combine enhanced predatory instincts with artificial intelligence, creating perfect pursuit units. Their kennels echo with mechanical growls as handlers prepare them for missions ranging from crowd control to hunting escaped prisoners through toxic underhive zones. Riot control specialists undergo additional conditioning focusing on urban warfare tactics. Their training emphasizes coordinated unit movements and crowd psychology, allowing small teams to control massive populations. These specialists often deploy alongside regular arbitrator squads during large-scale disturbances, directing operations based on centuries of accumulated experience in civil unrest suppression. The secretive chastener units operate specialized interrogation chambers equipped with both ancient and modern tools of their trade. Their expertise combines psychological manipulation with approved questioning techniques, extracting information from even the most resistant subjects. These specialists rarely interact with other arbitrators, their duties requiring specific mindsets and conditioning. Vehicle combat teams maintain the impressive motor pools housed within each precinct fortress. Their formations include everything from nimble pursuit bikes to heavily armored rhino transports modified for urban warfare. These units train constantly in urban navigation and combat driving, preparing for high-speed pursuits through crowded hive streets. Lord Marshals command sector-wide operations from heavily fortified command centers, coordinating responses to large-scale threats. Their authority extends across multiple systems, allowing them to direct resources where needed most. These individuals balance complex political considerations while maintaining the Arbites' independence from local authorities. The Verispex units apply scientific methodology to crime scene investigation, their laboratories filled with esoteric equipment and ancient analytical devices. These teams combine technical expertise with investigative skills, uncovering evidence that conventional methods might miss. Their findings often prove crucial in building cases against high-level targets or identifying patterns in criminal activities. Within the depths of precinct fortresses, combat training divisions maintain endless simulation chambers and practice ranges. These facilities recreate various urban environments, allowing arbitrators to practice enforcement techniques under realistic conditions. The instructors combine centuries of accumulated experience with modern tactical innovations, ensuring each graduate meets exacting combat standards. Intelligence analysis. Bureaus process vast amounts of data through ancient cogitator systems, identifying patterns and predicting future trouble spots. These facilities employ both human analysts and machine spirits, sifting through reports from countless sources. Their work provides crucial strategic intelligence, allowing the Arbites to allocate resources proactively rather than reactively. The Internal Affairs Division operates with almost total autonomy, investigating suspected corruption within the Arbites themselves. Their agents appear without warning, conducting thorough examinations of precinct operations and individual arbitrators. This constant vigilance helps maintain the organization's legendary incorruptibility, ensuring continued effectiveness in enforcing Imperial law. Long before the first arbitrator donned their badge of office, humanity faced the stark reality of maintaining order across vast interstellar distances. During the Dark Age of technology, early attempts at unified law enforcement crumbled as human worlds drifted apart. Archaeological evidence suggests various systems developed their own justice mechanisms, ranging from automated enforcement servitors to complex judicial AI constructs. The Age of Strife demonstrated the catastrophic consequences of fragmenting authority. Planetary governments turned against each other, while criminal empires carved out territories spanning multiple systems. Ancient records describe widespread corruption among local law enforcement, with many forces serving crime lords rather than justice. These dark times proved that maintaining order required something beyond traditional policing methods. Terra's unification under the Emperor brought revolutionary changes to concepts of law enforcement. Early Imperial archives detail experiments with various enforcement models, testing different approaches to maintaining order across conquered worlds. These trials led to the development of specialized training protocols, combining military discipline with legal scholarship. The Great Crusades' rapid expansion highlighted critical weaknesses in relying solely on local authorities. Newly compliant worlds often maintained hidden resistance movements, while apparently loyal planetary forces harbored separatist ambitions. Initial compliance proved meaningless without constant vigilance and enforcement of Imperial standards. Malcador the Sigillite recognized the need for a force transcending planetary politics. His vision called for incorruptible enforcers, owing allegiance only to Terra, equipped and trained to operate independently on any human world. This concept laid the groundwork for what would become the Adeptus Arbites. Construction of the first precinct fortresses drew upon both practical necessity and psychological warfare. Their imposing architecture deliberately echoed ancient Terran prisons while incorporating advanced defensive technologies. These structures served as visible reminders of Imperial authority while providing secure bases for enforcement operations. The development of specialized equipment marked another crucial step. Early arbitrators required gear suitable for both combat and crowd control, leading to innovations like the iconic shock maul. Forge worlds devoted significant resources to creating weapons and armor balancing intimidation, value with practical effectiveness. Training protocols evolved through brutal trial and error. Early enforcement attempts revealed the inadequacy of traditional military or policing backgrounds. The solution emerged through combining aspects of both disciplines with intensive conditioning in Imperial law and doctrine. The creation of cybermastiff units addressed specific enforcement challenges in dense urban environments. These biomechanical hunters proved invaluable in tracking fugitives through sprawling hive cities. Their success led to increased investment in similar hybrid technologies, combining organic and artificial components. Establishment of standardized legal codes required massive effort from teams of scholars and administrators. These experts worked to reconcile thousands of planetary legal systems with Imperial requirements. Their work produced the foundational texts still used by arbitrators in the 41st millennium. Development of interrogation protocols drew upon both ancient techniques and psychological research. Early experiments established effective methods for extracting information while maintaining public order. These procedures evolved into the sophisticated approaches employed by modern chastener units. The creation of specialized investigation units emerged from practical necessity. Complex criminal enterprises spanning multiple worlds required new approaches to gathering and analyzing evidence. This led to the formation of detective cadres, combining traditional investigation methods with advanced technology. Vehicle designs underwent extensive modification to meet unique enforcement requirements. Standard military patterns proved unsuitable for urban peacekeeping operations. Custom variants emerged emphasizing mobility and intimidation value while maintaining combat effectiveness. Implementation of surveillance networks demanded significant technological investment. Early systems demonstrated the value of constant monitoring in preventing criminal activities. These networks expanded into the sophisticated observation grids covering modern hive cities. The establishment of execution protocols balanced practical necessity with psychological impact. Public demonstrations of authority proved crucial in maintaining order across varied human cultures. Modern execution grounds incorporate lessons learned through millennia of enforcement experience. Recruitment standards evolved to identify candidates capable of withstanding intense psychological pressures. Early trial programs revealed traditional military or law enforcement backgrounds insufficient for arbitrator duties. This led to the development of specialized screening protocols still used by the Schola Progenium. The formation of riot control doctrine required extensive practical testing. Early enforcers discovered traditional military tactics poorly suited to civilian crowd control. New approaches emerged emphasizing psychological deterrence alongside physical force. Development of detention facilities incorporated both ancient prison designs and advanced containment technologies. Early experiments established effective methods for housing various threat levels. Modern facilities reflect millennia of accumulated experience in prisoner management. Terra's pacification witnessed the first deployment of unified enforcement units. These prototype squads drew from ancient police formations combined with military discipline. Success in maintaining order during unification battles proved the concept's effectiveness, leading to expanded operations. M30 brought systematic expansion of enforcement capabilities alongside the Great Crusade. Newly constructed precinct fortresses established Imperial authority on conquered worlds. Training facilities emerged within these structures, developing standardized protocols for future arbitrators. Late M30 saw the implementation of the Iron Code, foundational laws governing human worlds. Scholar judges compiled legal precedents from thousands of cultures, creating unified enforcement standards. This period established the core principles still guiding arbitrator operations. Devastating battles during the Horus Heresy reshaped enforcement doctrine. Precinct fortresses proved their worth as bastions of loyalty amid widespread betrayal. Surviving facilities incorporated defensive innovations born from bitter experience, strengthening future installations against similar threats. M32 heralded the Age of Reckoning as the Arbites consolidated their position within Imperial hierarchy. New training protocols emphasized absolute loyalty while expanding tactical capabilities. Specialized divisions emerged, each focusing on specific aspects of enforcement. The Shadow Crusade of M33 tested precinct defenses against unprecedented threats. Void shield upgrades and enhanced fortifications proved crucial for survival. Combat experiences during this period revolutionized urban warfare tactics, leading to improved response protocols. M34 witnessed technological advancement through collaboration with the Mechanicus. Enhanced interrogation chambers and surveillance systems multiplied enforcement effectiveness. Cyber Mastiff programs reached new levels of sophistication, producing more lethal hunting units. Rebellion swept through the Segmentum Pacificus during M35, challenging Arbites' control. Coordinated responses between precincts demonstrated organizational flexibility. Strategic innovations from this period became standard doctrine for handling large-scale insurrections. M36 brought the implementation of Operation Steel Dawn, systematic upgrades to enforcement capabilities. Advanced crowd control weapons and armor designs entered service. Training programs incorporated lessons learned from centuries of urban combat experience. The Nova Terra Interregnum forced adaptation to fractured command structures. Individual precincts demonstrated remarkable initiative while maintaining operational standards. This period produced innovations in autonomous decision-making protocols still utilized in modern operations. M38 saw the introduction of enhanced prediction algorithms through the Omniscient Initiative. Surveillance networks achieved unprecedented coverage of urban populations. Detection capabilities improved dramatically through integration of advanced cogitator systems. Forge World rebellions during M39 tested Arbites' response capabilities in heavily industrialized environments. Specialized tactics emerged for dealing with mechanized insurgencies. Technical expertise gained during these conflicts improved counter-manufacturing operation protocols. M40 heralded the era of vigilance with expanded enforcement authorities. New investigative divisions targeted potential threats before manifestation. Preventive operations gained prominence in standard enforcement doctrine. Gang wars across major hive worlds in M41 necessitated tactical evolution. Close-quarters combat techniques adapted to increasingly complex urban environments. Veterans of these conflicts reshaped training protocols based on practical experience. The Macarian heresy demonstrated the importance of coordinated enforcement efforts. Precinct fortresses served as rallying points for loyal forces. Tactical innovations from this period enhanced large-scale operation capabilities. Plague outbreaks in the Segmentum Obscurus highlighted biohazard response requirements. Containment protocols expanded to include environmental threats. Medical facilities within precincts received significant upgrades. Recent decades witnessed integration of advanced prediction technologies. Cognitive enhancement systems improved tactical decision-making capabilities. Field testing validated new approaches to threat assessment and response. Gothic sector unrest produced innovations in void combat protocols. Orbital precinct stations demonstrated effectiveness against space-based threats. Naval collaboration enhanced enforcement capabilities beyond planetary atmospheres. Current operations focus on adapting to emergence of new threats. Enhanced training programs prepare units for unprecedented scenarios. Tactical flexibility remains paramount in evolving enforcement landscape. These developments shaped the Arbites into an organization capable of maintaining order across vastly different environments. Each historical phase contributed unique innovations to enforcement doctrine. Modern operations reflect accumulated wisdom from millennia of practical experience. The Siege of Pavonis marked a fundamental shift in Arbites doctrine. Deep within the sprawling hive cities, a single precinct fortress faced an unprecedented uprising combining criminal cartels, corrupted PDF forces, and dark Mechanicus elements. Arbitrator Commander Sulla's decision to activate forgotten defense protocols transformed the seemingly doomed facility into an impregnable bastion, its ancient void shields reflecting bombardments, while automated turrets scythed down waves of attackers. Beneath the fortress's armored halls, cybermastiff packs prowled maintenance tunnels hunting infiltration teams. Their augmented senses detected enemy movements through meters of ferrocrete, while enhanced combat protocols enabled them to coordinate attacks with lethal precision. These hunting grounds became feared by rebels, who whispered tales of mechanical beasts emerging from shadows to claim victims before vanishing into the darkness. Senior Judge Demetrius's tactical innovations revolutionized urban combat methodology. His strike teams utilized vertical mobility systems to move between hive levels, emerging from unexpected angles to eliminate rebel leadership. The precise application of force multiplied the effectiveness of limited garrison numbers, creating an illusion of far greater defensive strength than actually existed. Mechanicus analysis of recovered rebel equipment revealed disturbing technological sophistication. Dark tech priests had modified standard weapons with forbidden enhancements, creating arsenals capable of bypassing traditional defenses. This discovery led to complete overhaul of precinct protection systems, incorporating new countermeasures against similar threats. Chemical warfare attempts by insurgent forces sparked evolution in life support technology. Enhanced filtration systems maintained operational capability despite toxic environments, while medical facilities developed new treatment protocols for previously unknown compounds. These advancements later proved crucial during numerous Hive City confrontations where environmental hazards posed significant threats. The siege demonstrated the effectiveness of new interrogation protocols. Captured rebels, subjected to combination of psychological pressure and chemical enhancement, revealed complex network of corruption extending into planetary government. Information extracted through these methods prevented similar uprisings across neighboring systems, justifying controversial tactics. Combat Medici units pioneered revolutionary trauma treatment procedures under extreme conditions. Operating in makeshift facilities deep within the fortress, they developed techniques for stabilizing casualties despite limited resources. Their innovations dramatically improved survival rates among wounded arbitrators, establishing new standards for battlefield medicine. Key logistical challenges forced development of groundbreaking resource management systems. Hydroponics facilities hidden within fortress walls sustained defenders through months of isolation, while plasma reactors operating at dangerous capacity maintained power to critical systems. These solutions became standard features in future precinct designs. The successful defense validated theoretical models about sustained urban warfare. Real-world experience refined academic understanding of precinct defense, while practical innovations improved combat effectiveness. Training programs incorporated these lessons, preparing future generations for similar challenges through immersive simulations, recreating critical moments of the siege. Ancient defense systems discovered in forgotten sublevels during desperate fortification efforts proved surprisingly effective against modern weapons. Integration of these recovered technologies with conventional defenses created hybrid protection systems exceeding capabilities of either approach alone. Archaeological teams still study recovered fragments, seeking to understand principles behind their operation. Surveillance network upgrades implemented during the crisis set new standards for information gathering. Enhanced Auspex arrays detected threat patterns through sophisticated prediction algorithms, while improved communication systems maintained coordination between scattered defensive positions. These capabilities revolutionized urban monitoring operations across the Imperium. The siege's resolution established new precedents for interorganizational cooperation. Mechanicus support proved crucial for maintaining advanced systems, while Ministorum assistance helped manage civilian populations trapped within the conflict zone. These alliances became templates for future crisis response protocols. Post-siege analysis transformed understanding of rebellion dynamics. Pattern recognition algorithms identified early warning signs with unprecedented accuracy, while behavioral studies improved prediction of crowd actions under stress. These insights enhanced preventive operations throughout the sector. Documentation of the siege became mandatory study material at the Schola Progenium. Tactical simulations recreate key engagements for training purposes, while strategic decisions faced by defenders provide complex scenarios for command evaluation. Each generation of arbitrators learns from detailed analysis of actions taken during those crucial months. The successful defense permanently altered relationships between Arbites and planetary authorities. Local governments gained new appreciation for precinct capabilities, while enforcement organizations received expanded access to planetary resources. Improved cooperation enhanced overall security while maintaining clear jurisdictional boundaries established by Imperial law. These events fundamentally reshaped Arbites' doctrine at every level. Strategic planning emphasized resilience and adaptability, while tactical doctrine incorporated lessons learned through blood and sacrifice. Modern precincts still reflect changes implemented in response to challenges faced during those devastating months on Pavonis. The siege's impact extended beyond immediate tactical considerations. Psychological warfare techniques proven effective during the conflict became standard doctrine, while improved understanding of crowd dynamics enhanced riot control operations. These developments continue influencing enforcement operations across the Imperium. Reverberations from the Pavonis siege transformed planetary defense doctrines across entire sectors. Mechanicus enclaves began incorporating Arbites design principles into their fortifications, while planetary governors retrofitted administrative complexes with hardened security features. Deep beneath hive cities, new infrastructure networks emerged, creating secure transit routes connecting vital Imperial facilities. These adaptations reflected growing recognition of urban warfare's evolving nature. The revolutionized interrogation protocols sparked a renaissance in intelligence gathering methodology. Specialized chambers within Precinct fortresses now featured hybrid systems combining ancient terror devices with cutting-edge monitoring equipment. Sanctioned psychers, working alongside veteran chasteners, developed techniques for extracting information from even the most resilient subjects. These advances dramatically improved the Arbites' ability to unravel complex criminal conspiracies before they could threaten Imperial stability. Cybernetic enhancement programs for enforcement units underwent radical expansion. Mechanicus bioengineers, driven by combat data from Pavonis, created new patterns of augmentation specifically designed for urban warfare. Enhanced sensory suites enabled arbitrators to detect threats through solid walls, while reinforced skeletal structures allowed them to survive impacts that would shatter normal human bones. These modifications established new standards for elite enforcement units. Educational institutions across the Imperium adjusted their curricula to reflect lessons learned during the siege. Schola Progenium facilities incorporated advanced combat simulations based on actual battle data, while collegiate juridica revised legal texts to address newly recognized forms of sedition. Training protocols now emphasized adaptability alongside traditional enforcement doctrine, preparing future generations for unprecedented threats. Manufacturing sectors experienced dramatic transformation as demands for specialized enforcement equipment soared. Forge Worlds dedicated entire production lines to creating advanced crowd control weapons and enhanced armor systems. New variants of Cybermastiff units emerged, incorporating lessons learned from urban hunting operations. These developments spawned entirely new branches of military-industrial production focused solely on law enforcement requirements. The integration of predictive enforcement algorithms revolutionized preventive operations. Vast cogitator arrays processed surveillance data through patterns identified during the siege, enabling early detection of potential uprising indicators. Behavioral analysis systems monitored population centers for signs of unrest, while enhanced communication networks allowed rapid response to emerging threats. This technological leap forward dramatically improved the Arbites' ability to maintain order across sprawling urban environments. Religious institutions found themselves adapting to strengthened enforcement presence. Ecclesiarchy authorities incorporated themes of imperial justice into their sermons, while shrine worlds adjusted their architectural plans to accommodate enhanced security measures. The visible presence of arbitrator patrols during religious ceremonies served as powerful reminders of the connection between imperial faith and law, reinforcing both through careful symbolic association. Medici facilities throughout the Imperium benefited from breakthroughs in combat trauma treatment. Techniques developed under siege conditions spread to civilian hospitals, while new categories of combat drugs entered standard medical inventories. Enhanced healing protocols, originally designed for wounded arbitrators, found applications in treating a wide range of civilian injuries. These medical advances saved countless lives across human-settled space. Transportation infrastructure underwent systematic redesign to accommodate enforcement requirements. Urban planners incorporated dedicated emergency routes into city layouts, while public transit systems featured concealed security checkpoints and rapid response vehicle bays. orbital facilities implemented enhanced docking protocols, ensuring proper screening of all incoming vessels. These changes dramatically improved the arbitrators' ability to respond to threats throughout massive urban complexes. Criminal organizations faced extinction-level challenges, adapting to enhanced enforcement capabilities. Traditional smuggling routes became death traps as new detection systems came online, while established hideouts proved vulnerable to advanced scanning technology. Underground networks fractured as improved interrogation techniques compromised decades-old secret societies. The underworld landscape transformed permanently as superior enforcement methods eliminated previously untouchable criminal enterprises. Financial institutions implemented rigorous new security protocols as enforcement authority expanded into economic spheres. Banking networks installed sophisticated monitoring systems, while trade organizations adopted stringent verification procedures. These changes made large-scale criminal operations increasingly difficult to finance, striking at the economic foundations of organized crime throughout the Imperium. The psychological impact of enhanced enforcement capabilities reshaped civilian behavior patterns across entire worlds. Public spaces adapted to constant surveillance presence, while social customs evolved to accommodate stricter security protocols. The visible example of swift justice administered to lawbreakers served as a powerful deterrent, fundamentally altering how Imperial citizens viewed their relationship with authority. Architecture throughout the Imperium reflected growing emphasis on security considerations. New construction incorporated defensive features as standard elements, while existing structures underwent extensive modification to meet enhanced protection requirements. These changes transformed the physical appearance of Imperial cities, creating urban environments designed to facilitate law enforcement operations at every level. Deep within armored vaults beneath Precinct fortresses, the Arbites maintain collections of enforcement technologies refined through millennia of urban warfare. Shock malls incorporate neural disruptor crystals harvested from forbidden worlds, their internal mechanisms calibrated to deliver precise combinations of kinetic impact and synaptic overload. Each weapon undergoes extensive ritual blessing and testing before deployment, ensuring both mechanical reliability and spiritual purity in their role as instruments of Imperial justice. Arbitrator carapace armor represents the pinnacle of personal protection technology. Multiple layers of ceramite plates, bonded with blessed oils and reinforced with micro-adamantium weave, provide defense against everything from crude stub guns to advanced energy weapons. Neural interface systems integrated into the armor's structure enhance the wearer's reaction time while monitoring vital signs, automatically injecting combat stimulants when necessary. Helmet arrays feature advanced auto-senses capable of penetrating smoke, darkness, and even basic stealth fields. The feared cybermastiffs exemplify the seamless fusion of organic hunting instinct with mechanical enhancement. Bred from ancient genetic templates and augmented with advanced targeting systems, these biomechanical predators combine ruthless pursuit capabilities with unwavering loyalty to their handlers. Enhanced olfactory arrays detect trace chemical signatures through meters of solid material, while reinforced musculature enables them to maintain pursuit through the most challenging urban environments. Quantum-linked cortex units allow packs to coordinate their hunts with terrifying efficiency. Precinct fortress defensive systems layer ancient technologies with modern innovations. Void shields, originally designed for void ship protection, have been modified to conform to architectural requirements, creating overlapping fields of protection against both conventional and exotic weapons. Automated sentry turrets incorporate targeting spirits recovered from derelict space hulks, their machine spirits possessing uncanny ability to distinguish legitimate threats from civilian activity. Deep within the walls, geothermal tap systems provide independent power sources, ensuring continued operation even under extended siege conditions. The execution chambers house some of the Arbites' most sophisticated and terrifying technologies. Neural flayers extract information directly from condemned prisoners' minds, while molecular disassemblers ensure no trace remains of the executed. These facilities combine psychological intimidation with practical efficiency, their very existence serving as powerful deterrents to potential lawbreakers. The technologies employed here remain closely guarded secrets, their true capabilities known only to senior arbitrators and specialized tech priests. Investigation units utilize an impressive array of forensic technologies. Auspex scanners penetrate multiple layers of material to reveal hidden evidence, while molecular analyzers detect trace compounds indicating criminal activity. Portable cogitator units contain vast databases of criminal records and legal precedents, enabling field operators to make informed decisions during active investigations. Advanced hololithic projectors recreate crime scenes in perfect detail, allowing investigators to examine evidence from every possible angle. Crowd control operations benefit from sophisticated area denial systems. Sonic suppression arrays emit precisely modulated frequencies that induce disorientation and nausea in target populations while leaving arbitrator units unaffected. Chemical dispersal systems can rapidly saturate large areas with incapacitating agents, their delivery mechanisms calibrated to ensure maximum effectiveness without causing permanent harm. Shield generators create temporary barriers, channeling crowd movement in desired directions. Vehicle pools maintain an impressive array of modified transport and combat vehicles. Rhino APCs feature enhanced urban warfare packages, including reinforced ram plates and automated fire suppression systems. Pursuit bikes incorporate sophisticated auto-stabilization technology, enabling high-speed chase operations through crowded underhive sectors. Command vehicles house mobile tactical coordination centers with real-time links to precinct defense networks. Interrogation facilities combine psychological manipulation with advanced truth extraction technology. Sensory manipulation chambers create completely controlled environments designed to break even the strongest resistance. Chemical enhancement systems administer precisely calibrated combinations of compounds, ensuring reliable information extraction while maintaining prisoner coherence. These facilities represent the delicate balance between gathering crucial intelligence and maintaining the appearance of Imperial justice. Communication networks utilize quantum-encrypted Vox systems, ensuring secure coordination between enforcement units. Advanced filtering algorithms eliminate interference while identifying potential eavesdropping attempts. Emergency override protocols enable instant command transmission during critical situations, bypassing standard authentication requirements when necessary. These systems form the nervous system of Arbites operations, enabling precise coordination of enforcement activities across vast urban areas. These surveillance technologies extend far beyond simple pict captures and motion sensors. Orbital auger arrays maintain constant watch over major population centers, their machine spirits programmed to identify suspicious patterns of activity. Behavioral analysis systems monitor crowd movements, detecting early signs of potential unrest. Deep penetrating Auspex networks track movement through multiple levels of hive cities, ensuring no area remains beyond enforcement scrutiny. Training facilities incorporate combat simulation technology recovered from lost human worlds. Hololithic projection systems create fully immersive training environments, while pain induction fields ensure students take their lessons seriously. Combat servitors programmed with thousands of fighting styles provide constantly adapting opponents, ensuring arbitrators maintain peak combat readiness. These facilities transform recruits into living weapons of Imperial justice through careful application of both pain and technology. Lord Marshal Quintos earned his legendary status during the purge of Hive Temenos, where corruption had penetrated every level of planetary governance. Operating from a mobile command center deep within the Underhive, he orchestrated a masterful campaign combining surgical strikes with complex psychological warfare. His forces systematically dismantled criminal enterprises while gathering evidence against corrupted nobles, culminating in a series of synchronized raids that decapitated the planet's entire shadow government. The methods he developed for identifying and eliminating deeply embedded criminal networks became standard doctrine throughout the sector. The infamous Crimson Judge terrorized 3 subsectors before his eventual downfall. Operating under the guise of legitimate authority, this rogue arbitrator implemented increasingly extreme interpretations of Imperial law. His execution squads targeted not just criminals, but entire family lines, claiming genetic predisposition toward lawlessness justified such actions. The hunt for this corrupted enforcer required unprecedented cooperation between multiple precinct fortresses, ultimately revealing disturbing connections between radical puritanical cults and elements within the Arbites themselves. Senior arbitrator Helena Voss transformed urban warfare doctrine through her experiences during the siege of Hive Praxis. When surrounded by rebel forces, she converted maintenance tunnels and waste processing systems into a lethal maze of ambush points and automated kill zones. Her innovative use of cyber-mastiff packs to herd insurgents into prepared killing grounds demonstrated the potential of combining biological hunting instincts with tactical planning. The training protocols she developed continue shaping close-quarters combat instruction at the Schola Progenium. The criminal mastermind known as the Shadowmaker elevated smuggling to an art form across the Gothic sector. Their network utilized dormant Mechanicus transport tubes and forgotten guild tunnels to move contraband between Hive cities. Investigation revealed sophisticated counter-surveillance systems and evidence of Dark Age technology, suggesting access to forbidden archives. When finally cornered, the perpetrator's true identity sent shockwaves through the administratum. A senior data scribe with centuries of service using their position to orchestrate criminal enterprises. Judge Drusus earned both commendation and controversy through his radical approach to maintaining order in the Maelstrom Zone. His interpretation of Imperial law emphasized prevention over punishment, implementing predictive enforcement protocols that identified and eliminated potential threats before crimes occurred. While his methods dramatically reduced criminal activity, questions about the legitimacy of prosecuting potential crimes led to intense debate within the Arbites hierarchy. The Butcher of Karnak's reign of terror demonstrated the devastating potential of corrupted enforcement authority. This former arbitrator utilized intimate knowledge of precinct protocols to systematically eliminate fellow officers, always staying one step ahead of investigation teams. The eventual revelation of extensive body modification and identity alteration technology raised disturbing questions about security screening procedures. Their final confrontation in the depths of Hive Karnak resulted in the destruction of 3 entire habitat levels. Cyber Proctor Thaddeus revolutionized investigation techniques by developing hybrid logical engines, combining standard cogitators with recovered archaeotech components. His systems demonstrated unprecedented ability to identify patterns in seemingly random criminal activities, leading to the exposure of several sector-spanning conspiracy networks. The price of this breakthrough became apparent only after his death, when evidence suggested direct neural interface with unknown machine spirits had gradually corrupted his sanity. Detective Marshall Livia's undercover operation within the Twisted Helix cartel spanned 15 years, creating an elaborate network of false identities and staged criminal activities. Her methodical accumulation of evidence eventually revealed connections between the cartel and corrupted elements within multiple planetary governments. The subsequent purge reshaped the political landscape across an entire subsector, though the full extent of her personal sacrifices during the mission remained sealed in classified archives. The renegade arbitrator known as the Black Judge exemplified the darkest potential within enforcement ranks. Their twisted interpretation of justice led to the implementation of extreme punitive measures against even minor infractions. Investigation into their activities revealed a disturbing pattern of psychological manipulation and cult-like devotion among subordinates. The campaign to eliminate this threat cost hundreds of loyal arbitrators their lives before reaching its bloody conclusion. Proctor Captain Valerius earned immortality in Arbites history through his final stand at Processing Plant Delta 9. When separatist forces attempted to seize critical water purification facilities, his small detachment held position for 3 weeks against overwhelming odds. Their resistance provided crucial time for reinforcements to arrive, preventing a catastrophic collapse of Hive City environmental systems. Recovered picked footage of their last hours became mandatory viewing at the Schola Progenium, demonstrating the ultimate meaning of duty and sacrifice. Lord Marshal Thane's brilliance shone through during the Nova Terra reconstruction, where he balanced the need for strict enforcement with practical necessity. His carefully calibrated approach to rebuilding civil authority prevented widespread unrest while maintaining essential services. The administrative frameworks he established for transitioning from military control to civilian governance became templates for similar operations throughout the Imperium. The mystery of Judge Xerxes remains a subject of intense debate within Arbites' ranks. Their unprecedented success rate in predicting and preventing criminal activities suggested access to unknown information sources. When investigation finally revealed evidence of extensive precognitive abilities, the implications threatened established protocols concerning psyker activity within enforcement ranks. Their subsequent disappearance spawned countless theories and regulations concerning psychic monitoring among arbitrators. Beneath the oldest precinct fortresses lie sealed vaults predating Imperial records, ancient security systems still active after millennia, guard chambers filled with enforcement technologies from forgotten epochs. Attempts to breach these facilities encounter defense mechanisms operating on principles beyond current understanding. Those few tech priests granted access to recovered artifacts speak of mechanical spirits exhibiting disturbing levels of independence and awareness. The Kronos incident remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in Arbites' archives. During a routine patrol in the depths of Hive Secundus, an enforcement squad encountered temporal anomalies that defied explanation. Their chronicler servitor recorded impossible events. Criminals aging decades in seconds, weapons fire moving backward through time, and echoes of battles yet to occur. The entire sector was subsequently quarantined, with special containment protocols still in effect 10 centuries later. Hidden within the labyrinthine data stacks of major precinct fortresses, encrypted files speak of Project Prometheus, a classified program exploring the integration of archaeotech targeting systems with human neural networks. Official records indicate the project's termination following catastrophic test results, yet periodic reports surface describing enforcement units displaying impossible levels of combat precision. Investigation teams dispatched to verify these accounts frequently disappear without trace. The Ghost Precincts phenomenon challenges fundamental understanding of reality itself. Multiple documented cases exist of fully staffed enforcement facilities appearing in locations where no construction ever occurred. These phantom fortresses operate for hours or days before vanishing completely, though their actions during these manifestations demonstrably affect real-world events. Analysis of recovered evidence suggests these structures might originate from alternate timelines or possible futures. Scattered across various sectors, enforcement units occasionally encounter individuals bearing arbitrator credentials that reference non-existent precincts and command structures. These Echo officers demonstrate intimate knowledge of classified protocols while pursuing objectives that align with Imperial law, yet remain mysteriously undefined. Attempts to track their movements reveal impossible travel patterns spanning vast distances in implausibly short time frames. Deep within the Mechanicus archives on Mars, heavily restricted documents detail the infinite precinct hypothesis. Based on analysis of recurring patterns in enforcement operations across multiple sectors, certain tech priests theorize that all Arbites facilities might represent physical manifestations of a single higher dimensional structure. This controversial theory attempts to explain numerous reported anomalies, including simultaneous appearances of identical officers in different locations. The Obsidian Codex, a mysterious tome discovered in an abandoned precinct's evidence vault, contains enforcement protocols written in languages that defy translation. Portions of the text appear to shift and change when not directly observed, while others reference future events with disturbing accuracy. Senior arbitrators who study the document report experiencing vivid dreams of impossible architectures and endless corridors lined with cells containing entities beyond description. Investigations into the parallel enforcement theory gained prominence following the Hadex anomaly. Multiple witness accounts described encounters with arbitrator units executing laws that never existed, yet somehow maintaining order more effectively than conventional methods. Recovery teams dispatched to investigate these reports discovered evidence suggesting entire parallel hierarchies of enforcement operating according to alternative interpretations of imperial justice. The phenomenon known as Judge's Sight manifests rarely among veteran arbitrators, granting them apparent ability to perceive criminal intent before actions occur. Recipients of this capability demonstrate unprecedented success rates in preventing crimes, though extended use appears to exact a terrible psychological toll. Medical examination of affected individuals reveals subtle changes in brain structure, suggesting exposure to unknown forms of energy or information. Classified archives contain thousands of reports concerning phantom cases, criminal investigations that appear to solve themselves through implausibly convenient circumstances. Analysis reveals subtle patterns, suggesting coordination by an intelligence operating beyond normal spatial and temporal constraints. Attempts to track these patterns lead investigators through increasingly Byzantine connections before inevitably terminating in logical impossibilities. The Nexus Chamber conspiracy continues generating debate within senior enforcement circles. According to heavily redacted documents, certain precinct fortresses contain sealed facilities designed to interface directly with the Astronomican's psychic beacon. These chambers allegedly enable instantaneous coordination between distant precincts, though the full implications of such capability remain troublingly unclear. Archaeological expeditions occasionally uncover evidence of enforcement organizations predating known human history. Recovered artifacts demonstrate technological sophistication exceeding current Imperial capabilities, while architectural remnants suggest facilities designed to contain threats beyond current classification systems. Senior arbitrators maintain constant vigilance for signs of these ancient prisoners attempting to break free. The mystery of the Black Judges continues puzzling enforcement archivists. Historical records document multiple instances of arbitrators operating under this designation appearing at crucial moments throughout Imperial history, yet no official authorization for such a role exists. Their interventions invariably preserve Imperial law through means that skirt the edges of legal authority, suggesting the existence of a secret order operating according to unknown protocols. The iron grip of the Adeptus Arbites reshapes worlds far beyond mere enforcement of law. Throughout the Dark Millennia, their influence has permanently altered the very architecture of human civilization. Hive cities rise like fortresses, their layouts designed around precinct strongholds, while hidden security networks thread through every level of society. Children grow up watching black-armored figures patrol streets, their earliest memories colored by the omnipresent symbol of Imperial justice. Deep beneath sprawling metropolises, ancient precinct fortresses continue their endless vigil. Their foundations, strengthened by millennia of architectural evolution, extend far into planetary crusts. These structures represent more than mere buildings. They embody humanity's determination to maintain order across the stars. Within their armored halls, countless generations of arbitrators have lived and died, upholding Imperial law, their sacrifices echoing through time. The psychological impact of consistent enforcement presence has fundamentally altered human behavior patterns. Cultural evolution across thousands of worlds reflects the constant presence of watchful arbitrator patrols. Social structures adapt around the reality of perpetual surveillance, while religious doctrines incorporate themes of justice and retribution. Even criminal enterprises evolve in response to enforcement pressure, becoming more sophisticated or desperate in their attempts to evade detection. Technological advancement throughout the Imperium bears the unmistakable mark of Arbites' influence. Surveillance systems originally developed for enforcement purposes find their way into civilian applications, while crowd control technologies shape the development of public spaces. Manufacturing sectors dedicated to producing enforcement equipment drive innovation in multiple fields, their advances gradually filtering into broader Imperial society. The Arbites' role in maintaining Imperial unity extends far beyond simple law enforcement. Their presence serves as a constant reminder of Terra's authority, their actions demonstrating the consequences of defying Imperial will. Through carefully calculated displays of power and mercy, they maintain the delicate balance between fear and respect that keeps countless worlds loyal to the Golden Throne. Within the halls of power, the influence of the Arbites shapes political reality across the galaxy. Planetary governors rule with the knowledge that their actions face constant scrutiny, while noble houses conduct their affairs under watchful augur arrays. This oversight maintains stability through prevention rather than reaction, catching signs of corruption or rebellion before they can take root. Combat doctrines developed through millennia of urban warfare continue evolving to meet new challenges. Each generation of arbitrators adds their experience to accumulated wisdom, refining techniques through practical application. Training protocols adapt to emerging threats while maintaining core principles established through countless battles in humanity's darkest hours. The organization's influence extends into humanity's collective psyche, shaping how Imperial citizens view authority and justice. Stories of legendary judges and infamous criminals become part of cultural mythology, passed down through generations. These tales serve both as warnings and inspiration, reinforcing the image of the arbitrator as an instrument of inevitable justice. Sealed within classified archives, records of countless operations provide guidance for future generations. Each success and failure contributes to a growing understanding of how to maintain order across diverse human societies. This accumulated knowledge represents one of the Imperium's most valuable assets in its eternal struggle against disorder and corruption. The legacy of the Adeptus Arbites manifests in countless subtle ways across Imperial society. From the architecture of cities to the behavior of citizens, their influence permeates every aspect of human civilization. Security checkpoints and patrol routes become natural features of urban landscapes, while citizens unconsciously adjust their daily routines around enforcement patterns. Even as new threats emerge from the darkness between stars, the arbitrators stand ready to maintain order through whatever means necessary. Their methods may appear harsh by civilian standards, but in a galaxy plagued by constant danger, such measures remain essential for humanity's survival. Each precinct fortress stands as a testament to this eternal vigilance, their stark silhouettes reminding citizens of both the protection and punishment Imperial law provides. The future of human civilization rests partly in the hands of these relentless enforcers. As the Imperium faces unprecedented challenges, the role of the Arbites becomes increasingly crucial. Their ability to maintain order across vast distances and diverse populations represents one of humanity's greatest achievements in the endless struggle for survival among the stars. In the grim darkness of the far future, where ancient threats and new horrors constantly emerge from the void, the Adeptus Arbites remains an unwavering bastion of order. Their dedication to duty and uncompromising application of law helps preserve humanity's unity in an increasingly hostile universe. Through their actions, the dream of Imperial justice endures, enforced by individuals willing to sacrifice everything in service to a greater purpose.